I'll ask one simple question, guys. I have 10 microservices and all of them wants to use some common properties. Recollect our microservice architecture diagram, overview diagram of microservice architecture. Recollect. Recollect. I have 10 microservices. They want to use common properties. Then we will try to put them in GitLab kind of, GitHub kind of repository. And to collect them from GitLab, GitHub kind of repository, we need a special server called what? Config server. We need a special server called config server. I hope you remembered. Yeah, today we are going to discuss that. It's very, very interesting topic. Definitely 1-2 questions will be there in the interview room. When it comes to intra-communication between microservice, lots of questions will be there on Fin client. Multiple questions. And when it comes to this is also very, very important. They give use case. They never give what? Direct question. Okay, I have 10 microservices, all of them talking to same database software using same JDBC properties. I don't want to write them in application.properties of each microservice. Then where should I write? Okay, then you said GitHub or GitLab. Then how to get those properties from GitHub or GitLab to our microservices? So for that one, we need a bridge called config server. What is that, guys? Config server. Again, once again, it is not any installable config server, Babu. We can make another microservice project, another Spring Boot project as a config server. In the way we made some Spring Boot project as what? One Spring Boot project as Eureka server, you can make one more Spring Boot project by adding necessary dependencies as what? Config server. By adding necessary dependencies as config server. See, guys, Spring Cloud config server. It is also called configuration server. And this is useful to get common key value pairs required for the multiple microservices from common place. That means instead of placing same key value pairs in multiple microservices, we can place them in a common place and we can get them through config server. We can get them to. We don't place in config server. Config server is the software where we get them. Config server is the software where we, okay, using which we get them. Getting my point, boss? Come on. Yeah, these common key value pairs are generally DB connection properties or email properties or security properties and etc., which are required as the same properties in multiple microservices. I think you are understanding what we keep there. Are mail server connecting properties, database connecting property, some security server connection property. So those properties can be placed here or not. Every RESTful web service wants to generate a mail once business activity is done. So all of them should connect to same mail server. To connect to mail server, some keys and values are required. Mail properties. How we got JDBC properties to talk to database software. Similarly, to talk to mail server, we have mail properties. Right now, boss? Okay. Yeah. We place these common key value pairs in separate property file. Outside of all microservice projects, and we take separate project for configuration server, having one application.properties, and this file will be linked with that common or separate property file. I hope you are understanding. Our 10 micro, I'll give diagrammatic representation also. Don't worry. Don't worry. We have a 10 microservice project. They have their individual application.properties. Somewhere in the GitHub or GitLab repository, application.property will be there. There will be having common database connection properties and etc. etc. Common database connection properties and etc. Everyone understanding my statement? Common database connection properties and etc. Okay. But in the middle of this 10 microservice project and GitLab, one config server will be there. This config server also contains application.properties. Their link will be there with the GitLab or GitHub repository. So that means this config server reads from GitLab or GitHub repository and gives to microservices. Is that clear, guys? So config server won't maintain those common keys and values. Everyone understanding my statement? Super, guys. Config server runs on default port number 8888. 8888. We can make configuration server project getting common key value pairs in two ways. Number one, using external server configuration. We can place common property file in Git accounts like GitHub, GitLab, Bitbucket. GitLab is best. Easy to handle, boss. No, GitHub is a good repository, but here GitLab is best. Hey, if you want, you can use GitHub also, not Bitbucket. Good for all environments, dev, test, UAT, and production. In all environment, we can happily use it. Next, guys, using native server configuration. We can place common property file in local system drives. We can take common property file in local system drives. Okay, like ED drives and etc. Generally used in dev environment or in development environment, local native server configuration, external server configuration. That means external server configuration means what? It will collect the information from Git accounts, which are there in remote places. It will collect the information from what? Local drives. Local drives, boss. The real microservice projects that we in real microservice project that we want to use configuration server managed property file contain key value pairs must be added configuration client dependence that we want to use as configure as configuration server managed common property file content must be added with configuration client dependency. Nothing is there. In every microservice project who want to use common property file content through configuration server should have configuration client dependency. One starter above. Starter. Nothing is nothing, but one starter should be added. Okay. Yeah, everyone please focus. Diagram is very interesting. External configuration server, guys. GitLab, GitHub accounts, application.property key value. This is number one. R native config, local file system drives, guys. /config/ application.property. Here also key value. Either this or this, boss. I think this part is clear. Number one, we should develop external configuration file either in GitHub, GitLab accounts or native configuration or what guys? native config in local file system. In local file system, boss. Yes, boss. This is number one. Number two, we have to develop Spring Cloud configuration server project. Acha, Eureka server project. Leave it. Number two, all microservice will be published with this Eureka server. Spring Cloud configuration server project. Now listen, this is having application dot properties, maintains link with external or native config file. This is maintaining link with what? Either GitHub application dot properties or native config application dot property. Here, what is the dependency I have to add? Config server dependency. Super guys. Here are my microservices. Microservice 1, microservice 2, microservice 3. Fourth step, guys. It is having its own key value pairs. It is having its own key value pairs. It is having its own key value pairs. But all of them can use common key value pairs. See, guys, its own. But private string data, @value $key, $value $key. What is this key, guys? What is this key, guys? This is kept in common property file, na? Key is equal to value. Key is equal to value. Right now, I'm just taking key is equal to value. These may be database properties. These may be database properties, guys. Come on, convince it with me. Common properties. Common properties. Common properties. Super, guys. Now let's see the flow of execution. And what is the dependence I should add? Config client dependency. Arey jarra babu, starter. We have to add this starter, babu. Starter. Okay. Here we have to add the start. Yeah, I repeat. Number one, either in GitHub accounts, we have to prepare application.properties, or in a native config in our system, in our computer, we have to prepare these properties. Okay, guys. Now tell me. These two files these two files are you understanding my statement? External configuration. Then we have to develop one Eureka server project. Then we have to develop one config server project. In the application dot properties of config server, okay, link will be there. Either external config server information or either with native config information, native config. That means here clear-cut information will be written. Okay, from which Git account information should be gathered, from which native configuration file the information should be gathered. Perfect, guys. Client dependency. Let's see the flow of execution. A1 @value key, boss. First, it will search in local properties. In my classes, question mark means searching, na boss. In my classes, question mark means searching. You all know that, right? Okay. Super. A2. Not there. Then it will go to whom, guys? Config server. It will go to whom, guys? Config server. In the config server application.property, it gets a link. it gets a link with external config, config or native config. External config or native config. That is A4. This is A5, boss. This is A5, guys. This is A5. Goes to application.properties of external config or native config. I'm highlighting only external config. Collects the message. Comes to what? Config server. Gives to what? Microservice project. And injects to what? This variable. Injects to this variable. I hope you enjoyed the flow of execution, guys. Yeah, drawing diagram is easy, but visualizing this kind of thought process is very difficult. Do you find this kind of diagrams in the internet? No, I'm giving this out of my analyzation, boss. Once again, see the flow. Once again, entire storyboard is there and complete storyboard is there in front of you. Complete storyboard is there in front of you. You draw this one in front of interviewer. Interviewer feels very happy. Sometimes he may feel that I learned something new from this guy. Sometimes interviewers are very interesting people, you know. If they are a senior technical guys, if they stuck up somewhere in the project, they give same scenario in the interview room. This is the scenario how you handle. And sometimes they get benefit from that. They will get benefit from job seeker. Because everyone will have different thought process on every issue or every technical possibility, right? Yeah, some people sometimes. Suppose if opposite person is not able to answer, they don't feel bad. They feel happy. Oh, this fellow also don't know. This fellow also don't know. Okay, Anand is confirming I follow the same thing while taking interviews. Super, guys. Anand is confirming. In case if you answer, he is benefited, na? Is benefited, definitely. If you answer anyhow, he will feel happy. Okay. If you don't answer also, he is happy. Why? Because he will think that hey, this guy also don't know. Fine, no problem. This guy also don't know. That happiness, na boss. If I don't get, no problem. If others are getting, will be our ego will be hurted, right? Professional jealousy comes into picture. Professional jealousy is very dangerous. So if you give answer, it's a win and win situation. You are happy, interviewer is happy. You are happy, interviewer happy. Sometimes, you know, interviewers don't allow more knowledgeable person in their own team because they feel professional jealousies. If I throw this guy, he may become more dominant on me. Esa no na. Okay. How to handle personal ego, na? Very nicely how to manage that, guys. See, guys, you have to satisfy the ego of interview on the interview day. You like it or not it like it. Very small tips I will say. Very small tips I will say. Small tips I will say. Small tips I will say. Whenever he asked any corner question, whenever he ask any corner question or any difficult question, though you know answer, you always say, it's a great question. I never got this question from any other person. Then you act in front of him, you are searching for the answer. You act in front of him, you are searching for the answer. If possible, in front of him, try to do on the head like this. Something like this. Then his ego will be satisfied. Hey, I asked a great question. Then give the answer what is already there in your brain. This formula works like anything. Array, people says I don't fall for appreciation. Everyone likes appreciation, Prabha. Some people will express, I'm happy with appreciation. Some people won't express. Everyone appreciate falls in trap of appreciation. Yes or no, na? If interviewer is my student, how though interview is my student, he never remembers my statements. I know that. No student of mine remember this statement after some time. Yes, na? Okay, guys. In my team, one lady is this. She behaves as if team lead forcefully. Even she does not know anything. She takes our code review and feels so bad. Could you please suggest how to handle it? How to handle it? Again, since he is a team member, boss. Since he is a team member. Okay. Since he is a team member, you have to create win and win situation. Win and win situation. Put your point, but make her also getting some satisfaction in that. Okay. Very simple, boss. Okay. After reviewing the code, you say, you are the person who you threw my code. If some other person was there, they would have never allowed this code. I will follow your corrections, but still I am very happy to work under you or with you because you threw this bad code. Got it now, boss? So it's all about satisfying the ego. Okay. Deepak Kumar, we need config server to read the data from Deepak Kumar. So shall we get into the flow one more time? Config server is required as a bridge between a GitHub property file and microservices, right? GitHub property file and microservices. Everyone, please come back to the subject. A1 @value $key. First, it will search in what? Local properties file. First, it will search in what? Local properties file. Super. First, it will search in what? Local properties file. Next, A3. Since not there, it will go to Spring Cloud properties file. Understanding my point? Yeah. Spring Cloud configuration is not there to maintain common properties file, guys. It is there to maintain link between common property file of what? GitHub accounts and microservice projects. If you place also, it's a waste. Because it won't search in the application properties of config server. By collecting the link from properties file of config server, it will interact with what? GitHub account properties file. From there, it submits the key, gets the value. That value comes back to whom? Configuration server. From there, it comes back to whom? Microservice. Yes, na boss. And in microservice, it will in microservice, because of that value, the value will be injected to Spring Bean property or not? The value will be injected to Spring Bean property or not? Come on, my dear. Super. Okay. This full communication happens in the form of REST. No, it's like text content only now, boss. It's a text content, right? Example application on using GitLab account. GitLab account maintained. account maintained external config file through Spring Cloud config server. Through Spring Cloud config server, guys. I'm going to take GitLab and I have given some suggestions how to do in GitHub also. Don't worry. Create application.properties. Create application.properties, external config file in GitLab account. Go to gitlab.com, register or sign up, verify email address, sign in, login to GitLab account by submitting username password that we have created above. Okay, let's do that job first. I hope everything is there. I remembered username password. If not, GitLab. gitlab.com. Sign in. Okay, already there. Remember me. Cool. No, I'm not. I'm using Yahoo now. By mistake, it got configured, boss. Super boss. Tell me next. What's the next thing? Yes. Create a new project giving project name. Create a new project. Where in the GitHub, okay? In GitHub. Create a new project having project name. Where is the question of creating new project, guys? I think here new project. Okay. Create a project, blank project. Yes. Create new project, blank project name, select public, create project. Nothing, easy boss. CS pros 11 I will take. I hope it is there. CS pros 11. GitLab account. This is the URL. This is going to be URL. Okay, select it public, guys. Select it public and create project. Add application.properties file in that project. Add application.project in that project. Super, guys. Tell me here. Okay, how to add it? How to add it? There is a file option somewhere, guys. Can we see that? New file. A new file. Application.property. Any name you can. Check the procedure. Go to home page, CS project, plus symbol, new file, application.properties, add key value pairs. Yeah, DB user, DB password, commit the changes. Right. Okay. Hey, not compulsory. You can take anything. Here, keys are not fixed, values are not fixed. Everything is your choice. Yeah, somewhere commit changes will be there, guys. Commit message, initial data, target branch main, commit changes. Commit changes. Yeah. If you want, you can modify here, guys. Edit in web IDE. It takes time to open, it seems. Okay, anyhow, right now there is no need of editing it, guys. Oh, it came. Again came. So commit the changes. Any changes you want to do, you can edit it and you can do it. Perfect, guys. Go to CS project homepage, clone, gather the URL. This is very, very important. This URL only we are going to place in this URL only we are going to place in config server application.properties. Config server application.properties. Suprana. Okay. How to get it, guys? CS Pros 11 homepage. CS Pros 11 homepage. Where is, guys? Clone option. In the clone option, we are having this now, boss. Copy this. GitLab.com, Naresh IT Amirpet, CS Pros 11.git. Naresh IT Amirpet, CS Pros 11.git. Super, guys. I pasted here, guys. Let's move to next one. Yeah, next one. Create Eureka server project in Eclipse ID. Am I going to waste my time? No, not at all. Where is our R&D server, Eureka server? I think here we are having project for Eureka server. Say paste 5, guys. Eureka server. Properties, guys. Web project settings will not be there. Cool. Then what is next one? com.nt. Put MS Pros 05 Eureka server application. Application.properties. Super, guys. Boot MS Pros 05 Eureka server. Boot MS Pros 05 Eureka server, guys. Getting my point, my dear. Super. Okay. Done. Create Spring Cloud configuration server project. Add config server dependency. Select from Spring Cloud config section. Add enable config server. Add the following entries in application.property. 8888, whatever link URL is there, na, that you have to place. Whatever link URL is there, na, you have to place it. Super. This is very important, guys. Everyone, please focus. Are you with me, guys? Are you with me? Super. Arey, Eureka server is old one, Rabo. Eureka server is old one, right? Spring Starter project, guys. Spring MS. I think we'll maintain 05 series. Okay. Config server. Config server. If repo is private, only registered users can be, allowed users can be use it. Public means anyone can use it, right? Config server, okay, for GitLab. Config server for GitLab. Say next, search in Spring Cloud section. Okay, search in Cloud section. What is that? Config server dependency. Search in Spring Cloud config section. Acha, previous GitLab, this is not an issue, Rava. This is some name somewhere that we are taking. There is some names that we are taking, Rava. Spring Cloud config. Spring Cloud config client is there, but config server is not there. So sad, Rababu, so sad, so sad. Config server dependency. Select from Spring Cloud config section. Why they have done like this? Right. Spring Cloud config, guys, config. Right now, boss? 1 minute. 1 minute. Yes, boss. Say next to save. Any possibility of pasting here? Done, boss. Let it. Okay. First, what is there? Add enable config server on the main class. Enable config server on. Okay. This is your cost. Spring Boot application, enable config server, enable config server. Right now, boss. Super, boss. Go to application.properties, guys. Here is what? Config server port. Config server port. Tell me. Server.port 8888. Next. Link config server with GitHub account. Link config server with GitHub account. Link config server with GitHub account. Understanding my statement? Super, boss. Okay. GitHub, GitLab, boss. GitLab. Okay. GitLab account. GitLab account. Super. Spring.cloud.config.server.git.ur. Spring. cloud.config.server.git.ur. Cloud.config.server.git.ur. Server.git.ur is equal to this one. That's it, boss. I think everything is perfect. Spring.cloud.config.server.git.ur. Yeah, this is the link URL. Listen, if we create same thing in the GitHub, somewhere I have written that statement. We can use a GitHub Bitbucket also as external configuration server for external configuration for configuration server using the same process. Note, while working with GitHub, there is no need of passing .git in the link URL of application properties. Understanding my statement? No need of passing .git. Everything else is same, Rabab. In GitLab, you are passing .git now, boss. In GitLab, you are passing .git, right? There is no need of passing. Okay. Rajendra, we can create application.properties either in GitHub or GitLab or Bitbucket anywhere, boss. There are keys and values are your choice now, boss. Hey, keys are not fixed, Babu. DB user, these are fixed. They are not fixed. Now tell me. Create multiple microservice project having following dependencies. Spring Web, Eureka Discovery Client to register with Eureka server, config client, new one. Select from Spring Cloud config section. MS port number, guys, application name, registering with this one. Now listen, to make MS connecting to 8888 port number of configuration server. Okay. You have to add this entry, guys. Spring.config.import optional colon config server colon. Understanding my statement, guys? So, Ali, if you are connecting to GitHub application.property, there is no need of writing .git extension in the URL. Yes or no? Na? Right now, I am connecting to GitLab. That's why we should give .git. If you do the same process in the GitHub, no need of giving .git extension. There also same key, same URL, similar URL will be there. Okay, guys. Okay, next what we should do, guys? Let me create one microservice project, na? New Spring Starter project, guys. Spring Starter project 05 EMP service. Boot MS Pros 05 EMP service. Are something about all this stuff. Here is my what? Web, guys. Here is my dev tools. Yeah, I don't have any intention of taking multiple instances. Eureka Discovery Client, right? What is there? Config server. There we have to add config client. There we have to add config client. Then finish. EMP service, guys. Okay. Tell me, first of all, we should make it as ready for discount. Enable discovery client. What is there, guys? Enable discovery client. Super, boss. Enable discovery client. Here is my application dot properties. MS port number, microservice port number, guys. Server dot port 9900. Service instance ID. Service instance. Instance name. Okay. Service instance name. Acha, config client, enable config client. No, actually only dependency is enough, Raghav. Enable config client is there, such annotation is not there, Raghav. Enable config client is there? Not there, na boss. Not there, boss. Jar itself enough. If it is there, I would have given in this list, na boss. Enable, here, check it out. Enable Eureka client only there, and you have to write these entries. You have to write these entries, guys. Okay, let it be. Service name. Spring dot application dot name. EMPI fun service. Spring dot application dot name. EMPI fun service. Now tell me, you have to register this one with what, boss? Eureka server, right? Okay, go to any MS project. Go to any MS project. Okay, provide URL to register the microservice with this. That is also done. Okay. Connected to config server running on the default 8888 port. Running on the default 8888 port number. Running on the 8888 port number. What is the entry we are having, boss? Spring dot config dot import optional colon config server colon. Yeah, listen. To make MS connecting to triplet port number of config server required from Spring Boot 2.4 onwards. Earlier it was not required, guys. Earlier it was not required. Getting my point? Earlier it's optional to place, guys. Make the MS connecting to config server running on the port number 8888. Required from Spring Boot 2.4 onwards. If it is running other than port number, what to do, we will discuss. Tell me, guys, Spring dot, what is the key? Spring dot config dot import. Config dot import. Tell me, guys. Am I writing in a wrong place? Oh, I'm doing in a wrong place. It's my mistake. Cut it. Okay. Config dot import. Can you help me? What is there, guys? Optional colon config server. Optional colon config server. S small letter. S small letter, capital letter, boss. Anyone is having idea? Config server. I think here also capital letter. Yes, small letter. These things makes big difference later. Optional spell mistake. I think this line is perfect now, boss. Optional colon config server. Okay, cool. That's it, boss. Jar is enough. What is next one? Now we have to develop what, boss? Controller class, right? Controller class. Here, see. User I am injecting with the DB user. Password I am injecting with the DB password. These keys are keys placed in external config servers. Keys placed in GitLab account. External this. Here is my application.properties, boss. Yeah, this is my config server, GitLab, employee service, Eureka server. This is my EMP service. This is my config server. This is my Eureka server. Yeah, come here, right click, new package, com.nt.rest, guys. com.nt.rest, guys. Okay, tell me what is this? Employee operations control. Employee operations control. @rest control. @request mapping. @request mapping. @request mapping. Super. @request mapping here. Global paths. Private string user @value $DB user. Super, guys. Private string password DB pass. Okay. Here, what is this? Public response entity string. Response entity string. Okay. Show DB data. 1 minute. Show data, guys. Are some method. Show data. @get mapping /show. Where is something about? Return new response entity. Return new response entity string of. New response entity string of. What is that, guys? DB properties from GitLab account or GitLab account or tell me user GitLab account or user passwords. I think along with that we should also place HTTP status dot OK. HTTP status dot OK. Yes. Return new response entity string DB properties from GitLab account or user, guys. It's I think if you want, you can take one more microservice, guys. I don't mind. But not required. We can prove with a single one. You want to prove with another microservice? Let's do that. Copy, guys. Prosify customer service. Where you don't like customer service, you take student service. Some service, Rava. Prosify student service. Okay, guys. Here I will take everything same, Rava. I'll take this class name as student service. File name, here file student. Yeah. Okay, then what is there? Application dot properties, guys. 9091. Student hyphen service. Remaining everything is same. Student hyphen service. Employee operations control dot Java. Yeah, instead of employee, I will take student operations control dot Java. Yeah, let's change the file name, guys. Student operations control dot Java. This is my stud, guys. Injected DB user, injected DB password. Yeah, slash. Cool. I created one more project just like that, Rava. Project. Okay, I think we have taken Jarna. Web project settings has not come. If you taken where, we'd have got web project settings. Yeah, everything same was customer service, everything done. Run the application, guys, in the following order. Eureka server, config server, all MS projects, go to Eureka server, home page, modify the URL of both EMP and customer microservice. Custody.display EMP/show, and here we have taken both places. Both places we have taken same boss. Show. No problem. We'll go according to our comfort. Okay. Tell me first, what is there? Eureka server. Java application. Not this. Not this. Not this. Run on Java. Application.properties, guys. Boot MS Pros 05 Eureka server. This application.properties. 8761. False. Okay, you are ready with what is started so far? Tell me. In the console, what is started? Only one thing. Eureka server is started. Yeah, then config server I have to start. Config server. run on Java application. It's running on different code. Yeah, I think config server is running. Okay, boss. No problems, no errors in this so far. Number employee service, right? Okay. Mullah Abdullah. GitLab is anyhow there in a different mission now, boss. Mullah Abdullah, try to bring your common sense. GitLab is a website. Why it will be there in our system? Tell me. You forgot the basic point, boss. You can see the list of applications running here now, boss. One is Eureka server, one is config server, right? Okay. Right click. Okay, in our mission, we just connected to that account, but the mission is GitLab mission is there definitely in a cloud environment, right? Java application. Java application, guys. Let's wait, connected or not, that really matters. Okay. EMP service. Then what is there? Customer service or student service? Okay, guys. Right click, run as Java app. Is 9090. Student service. Okay, fine, no problem. Open the browser. Open the browser. What is the Eureka server port number, guys? HTTP localhost 8761, right? 8761. One is EMP service and one is student service. Okay, actuator, all this stuff, guys. Stud/show. Stud/show. It's not coming. No. I think stud/show is running on port number 9091. You are right. Yeah, System Tiger is coming now, boss. System Tiger is coming. Coming from where, guys? Coming from where? I hope you understood. Come on, boss. Coming from GitLab. Coming from GitLab. So that means our microservice project be able to connect it to GitLab through config server now. Is it direct communication between microservice and GitLab? No. It's a communication between GitLab and microservice through config server. Through config server. We should give credit to config server, right, boss? EMP service. Here change the URL. What is the URL? /EMP/show. /EMP/show, guys. Coming or not coming? System Tiger. Okay. Yeah, config server port number is not fixed. Default is 8888. It can be changed. What to do when changed, I will discuss later. For the timing, you continue the default port. I hope you enjoyed today's discussion, guys. You thoroughly understood the today's discussion. Come on, everyone. Okay. I will give one task, guys. One task to check at home. When microservices are running, I modified application.property values in the GitLab account. I modified application.property file values in GitLab account. Okay, will they be reflected to microservice or not? Will they be reflected to microservice when we refresh the request? When we send refreshed request or next request, will they be reflected or not? You experiment at home and let me know. You experiment this at home and let me know. This is the task. If not reflecting, how to make them reflecting. If reflecting, how to enjoy them, why they are reflecting. If not reflecting, what to be done to reflect. Understanding my statement? Okay. Please provide download access to Google Drive. Mr. Krishna, I have not used Google Drive. I have used what? No, I don't want to restart the server, but they should reflect. What to do for that? 7:15 a.m. Mr. Krishna, first is realize what we are using. It's a Google Classroom. It's not Google Drive. Okay. Edit, guys. Edit, guys. Tell me. Someone is asking me how to download them. How to download them. Okay. Okay. How to download them. Open in a new tab or window. Open in a new tab or window. Here download button. Here download button. Clear, guys? Understanding? Okay, go to that location. Download is coming from Mr. Krishna Gopal. Coming. Why it is not coming? You have to open each file in a separate tab. You have to open each file in a separate tab, right? Now it's coming or not coming? Open with paintbrush. Otherwise, this one still going on. Still going. Show in folder, guys. This is the way to download, guys. Sir, this is the easy way to download, Rao. See, right click, open in tab, guys. Open, click on this. Click on this. Now go to download section. Go to download section. This is RAR downloading. This is file download. Open with paint. Coming as it is now. Original one is coming, right? Okay. Upload, guys. Browse, guys. Tell me. Workspaces. Spring Boss. Where is this? Spring. Not workspaces. E drive. Class content. Spring, guys. 715. Springify 715. Spring Boot Cloud MS. Okay. Config servers. Google Classroom notes will be there with you forever, but better to have a backup in your local system. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Tomorrow when we meet, we will discuss how to interact with the native config server and how to change the port number of this one. How to change the port number of server. Thank you, guys. Have a nice time. We'll meet tomorrow.